The Premier League have been forced into deleting a post mocking Vicario after complaints from Spurs fans and then the club. The players face a 50% cut in wages if Spurs are relegated. The club have been fined €30,000. Neil Warnock has come out and said, "I thought I would have been at Spurs." The Daily Telegraph has stated that Spurs have stepped up their pursuit of finding a new sporting director. Some very damning stats have just been published by Sky Sports showing Tottenham's problems in defence and in attack. And Spurs midfielder Yves Bissouma has come out and said, "We don't deserve to be where we are in the league table, but now we have to just close our mouths and work hard." Hi everyone, hope you're well. Chris Cowlin here. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start by talking about the Premier League deleting a social media post which appeared to mock Tottenham Hotspur goalkeeper Vicario following fan backlash and a complaint by Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. On Sunday evening, the Premier League posted on its official X account a video of Vicario sending a free kick down the length of the pitch and out for a goal kick during Sunday's defeat at Fulham, with the caption, "Just how the play was drawn up." The video, which also featured the words "an interesting free kick from Vicario," followed by "whoops," was widely criticised before being deleted on Monday morning. Tottenham Hotspur contacted the Premier League to complain about the post, voicing their view that the league should not be mocking its own teams and its own players. Now, a report has just been published by David Ornstein from The Athletic. He has stated that the Tottenham Hotspur players are facing a wage cut if the club is relegated from the Premier League. Most contracts include clauses to lower salaries, vast majority by minus 50% in event of going down, provision placed in all deals under Daniel Levy, so Spurs have some financial protection. Now, lots of reports on this story. This one is from Sky Sports. They are stating that UEFA have handed Tottenham Hotspur a €30,000 fine, the equivalent of £26,200, and a suspended ban on away fans for racist and discrimination behaviour during their Champions League away game against Eintracht Frankfurt. Now, following that report, a official club statement was then released by Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. It says, "The club has been informed of sanctions handed down to us by UEFA following the utterly abhorrent conduct of a small number of individuals in our recent Champions League away game in Frankfurt. The club has cooperated fully with UEFA's investigation, as well as with the German police on the night and subsequently the Met Police. We can confirm that all three individuals found to be making Nazi salutes towards Eintracht Frankfurt fans have been identified and have received indefinite bans under the club's sanctions and banning policy." The statement then goes on to say the club stands firmly against all forms of discrimination and has therefore taken the strongest possible action. The disgusting behaviour of a minority of so-called fans on the night is in no way reflective of the values of our club and its supporters. 77-year-old manager Neil Warnock has taken over at Torquay United and he has been joking about the Spurs job. He said, "It's a surprise for me to be here today. I thought I would have been at Tottenham or Nottingham Forest or somewhere like that. I could have done a better job, but they never asked me." The Daily Telegraph have just reported that Tottenham Hotspur have stepped up their pursuit to find a new sporting director, with checks believed to have been made on a number of potential candidates, including Paul Winstanley, but he is not expected to leave Chelsea, and ex-Crystal Palace sporting director Dougie Freedman, who is currently working in the Saudi Pro League. Now, Spurs are next in action in the Premier League on Thursday as we'll be taking on Crystal Palace at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 8 p.m. kickoff. Pundit Chris Sutton has been talking about this game. He said Tottenham's home form is wretched. Wolves are the only top-flight team to have picked up fewer points than them on their home turf so far. The atmosphere there has been toxic all season anyway, and we are into territory where, if Igor Tudor loses this, things could get even worse. Sutton then goes on to say, I'm not sure about Crystal Palace either. Mind you, after a difficult few weeks, they actually looked good against Manchester United on Sunday, but they will miss the suspended Lacroix here, who is important for them at the back. It would be against the odds, but I'm going to back Spurs here. Their last league win came against Crystal Palace at the end of 2025. Maybe they will get their first league win of 2026 against the same opposition. And Sutton then goes on to say that he thinks that Spurs will win this game 2-1. Now, some quite damning stats have just been published by Sky Sports showing Tottenham's problems in defence and also in attack. Now, Tottenham Hotspur's defence in 2026, duels lost 562 and Spurs are ranked 20th in the Premier League. Aerial duels success, 42.9% and Spurs are ranked 18th in the Premier League. Errors leading to a goal, 5. Spurs are ranked 19th. Errors leading to shots or goals, 15. And Spurs are ranked last in 20th. And expected goals conceded, 17.6. And Spurs are again ranked last in 20th. And equally poor stats in the Tottenham Hotspur attack during 2026 in Premier League matches. Times dispossessed, 104, ranked 20th. Losses of possession, 1,403, ranked 20th. Unsuccessful touches, 174, ranked 19th. Sequences ending in final third percentage, and that is 35.14, ranked 18th. And big chances created from set plays, and that is 0, ranked 19th. Now, Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Yves Bissouma has been talking about Tottenham's problems right now and the defeat away at Fulham on Sunday. He said, in football, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We are in a really bad situation at the moment. We don't deserve to be where we are now. The club don't deserve it. But like I said, it is football. Bissouma then goes on to say, sometimes you don't understand, sometimes you win and sometimes you're losing games and you don't even know why you're losing games. But the only thing we can do is close our mouths and work hard because words are not going to change anything. We just have to work really hard, focus on the next game and try to win this next game at home in front of our supporters to bring that confidence back again and try and win the rest of the games. Football is like that. You can't just blame one player. You can't just blame your teammates because of a mistake or because of something like this. We are a group. We stay together. We have to find a solution. And we know, we have to work really hard. We have to work really hard to try and come back together to, like what I said, win games in front of our fans. Bissouma then goes on to say it's details. We believe in each other. We believe in the coach. We believe in the work that he is doing for us. We believe in everything. So we know, the situation will change for sure. We just have to find the right way to do it because we have everything. You can't just say we don't have the players. We don't have the players. We have a team. We are a group. We are a solid group. We've got everything. We've got a good coach. Everyone around us is top. Fantastic. So it's a moment this happens. I know it happens, especially at this time, of course. We don't feel good. We don't feel better. It is not what we want, but together we can change things. And I'm sure we will change things as soon as possible. And we will start in the game that's coming up. Now, Bissouma has been talking about the Crystal Palace game on Thursday in the Premier League. He said, we will need everyone, every fan. This is really important, this game, especially when we play at home. We will need the fans. We will need them. And I think the next game will be the time to change things and we will look forward. So it's another very busy week of Premier League action. 4 games will take place on Tuesday. Bournemouth will take on Brentford, Everton against Burnley, Leeds United will take on Sunderland, and then Wolves will take on Liverpool. Now 5 games will take place on Wednesday evening. Aston Villa will take on Chelsea, Brighton against Arsenal, Fulham against West Ham, Manchester City against Nottingham Forest, and then Newcastle will play Manchester United. And then, of course, on Thursday, it is our game, Tottenham Hotspur against Crystal Palace, 8 p.m. kickoff. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode, and I tell you what, there is a lot to get through here. Yves Bissouma, we don't deserve to be where we are, and we need to keep our mouths closed now and work hard. I tell you what, Spurs do deserve to be 16th in the Premier League because the results and performances simply haven't been good enough. The league table doesn't lie. It really doesn't. And, these performances, we're the only Premier League team to not have won a Premier League game in 2026. And we're now on the 2nd of March. This is not good enough. The stats from Sky Sports as well are so damning. Poor defensive stats, poor attacking stats, and as Igor Tudor said in his post-match press conference after the Fulham game, that Spurs just don't seem to be doing it in any areas at the moment. And when Igor Tudor come in 2 weeks ago, he said in that first press conference 100% that Spurs will stay up, and now every single comment that comes out of his mouth is extremely worrying. He has given me Antonio Conte vibes, and this isn't positive. I tell you what, you want to hear positive things from the manager. Yes, it's all well and good a manager coming out and telling the truth sometimes and saying things how they are, but is it giving any of us any confidence about getting results and showing us that we can put in a performance to get points, pick up points in the Premier League? We face Crystal Palace next. Those Premier League stats are very, very damning indeed. We had one shot on target against Fulham on Sunday. That is not good enough. I felt that when Matisse Tell came on and Richarlison came on, it did change the game a little bit. It was better, but let's be very frank and honest about it. We had one shot on target, and that was the goal. We weren't threatening. And, if you look at the scoreline, if you hadn't watched the game, if you were a neutral perhaps and didn't watch the game, you'd see that Fulham beat Spurs 2-1, and you think it would be you think it was a close game. It certainly wasn't a close game, and Fulham should have been out of reach in that first half, or certainly in the first period of the second half, because they created so many chances. They missed a hell of a lot. Vicario saved a couple as well. But the lack of creativity from us, again, it just simply isn't good enough. And how many times have all of us said as Spurs fans that we need to be seeing fight and desire right now. We need to be seeing every player giving absolutely everything, because there is a real chance that Spurs could be relegated. We are the only team this calendar year so far, and we're on the 2nd of March. We haven't won a Premier League game in 2026. And, this Crystal Palace game on Thursday is absolutely massive. I get what Yves Bissouma is trying to say about the crowd being behind the team. That's never changed. The crowd have always been behind the team. It is now down to the players. It is now down to Igor Tudor, to work his magic and get these players performing. He's been come out and saying that it's all about training. It is all about running. And he's also said, after that Arsenal defeat, he said, forget about it. I said exactly the same words, actually, but then straight after the Fulham game, he said, we need to forget about this one. Well, there is now only 10 left. We can't keep forgetting about them. We actually need to, start picking up some points in some of the games. But it's very, very obvious from what Igor Tudor has been saying right now. It's definitely a bigger job than he thought that he was coming into at Tottenham Hotspur. And, Spurs just need to deliver. They really do. And Thursday is an absolutely crucial game. We're playing last in Matchweek 29. Spurs, when you look at some of the other fixtures, at least when you look at the likes of Nottingham Forest, they do have very difficult games. Nottingham Forest have Manchester City. West Ham, they have Fulham away. Spurs need to pick up points. I can't be any more clear on that. And, everyone's at that worrying stage at the moment because everyone's thinking about, possible relegation. And, these players need to be up for the fight, as I keep saying. Neil Warnock even joking around saying, I thought I would have been at Spurs rather than Torquay. I know there was a lot of talk about people like Sam Allardyce, but, you think of these things as a bit of a joke. But I tell you what, the situation we are in did you ever think that we'd be in this situation after winning the Europa League in May? It's unbelievable, and things need to improve drastically. And like I said, those damning stats from Sky Sports, things need to improve under Igor Tudor and fast, because we haven't got long left. The Daily Telegraph stating that Spurs are stepping up their pursuit of finding a new sporting director. Of course, all of these things are highly important. All of these decisions, all of these appointments are highly important for the future of our football club. But Premier League status at the moment is absolutely key. To think that we've got our Champions League game, last 16, first leg in a week's time. No one's really talking about it. Everyone is just focused on these Premier League games right now. But, Spurs finding the right appointments, Spurs finding the right people to come into this football club and turn this football club around, that is very, very important. These decisions have to be right, and things need to change, and we need to do things in the right way. We cannot keep making the same mistakes again and again. The players are facing a 50% cut in wages if Spurs are relegated. I've no doubt that a lot of these players will leave the football club if Spurs are relegated, but let's hope that doesn't happen. But as I keep saying, these players need to be up for the fight, and they need to give more. It is as simple as that. Now, the Premier League being forced to delete a post mocking Vicario after complaints from Spurs fans and then the club. I tell you what, I had to double check this because I thought at first that it was just somebody, creating an account looking like the Premier League account. This was the official account, and I couldn't believe it. Absolutely gobsmacked by the Premier League mocking a player, mocking a team. I've never seen them do this before. I've never seen them do it to any other player or any other team for that matter. And I'm absolutely disgusted, and I think that the Premier League should issue a full apology to Tottenham. But, it would be X, wouldn't it? There's been a lot of crap written on X this last week or so, and this just adds to it. Now, X can be a very vile place. Lots of idiots on there writing all sorts of rubbish, but I wouldn't expect it to come from the Premier League. So that was extremely surprising and extremely disappointing. And as I said, I think that the Premier League should now issue a full apology to Tottenham Hotspur Football Club and, of course, goalkeeper Vicario. And the club have confirmed that they have been fined €30,000 and 3 fans have now been given lifetime bans, and rightly so. Like the statement says here, disgusting behaviour, and the club have also said so-called fans. But then again, this week I've seen a lot of very nasty and very evil comments from a lot of so-called fans this week. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Have a great week. Keep smiling, stay safe and well, and I'll see you soon. Come on, you Spurs.